I never told anyone this, but I used to avoid mirrors after my 70th birthday. Not because I looked bad, because I looked tired, and I didn't know why. Turns out it wasn't my face at all. It was my hair working against every single feature I have. Today I'm breaking down 3 haircuts that are quietly transforming how women over 70 are seen. Not younger, exactly, but sharper, brighter, more like themselves again. These aren't trendy cuts. They're corrective ones, built around what happens to hair texture, density, and face shape after 70. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50, so you get real results, fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The cut stylists call the reset. Here's something most women never hear from their own stylist. Past 70, hair doesn't just thin, it changes direction. The growth pattern along the crown shifts, and length that once fell smoothly now falls flat, dragging the whole face down with it. That's not your imagination. That's biology. And it's why the exact cut that flattered you at 55 can be quietly aging you now. I felt that shift myself before I understood it. Longer layers I'd worn for years suddenly looked heavy, almost sad, no matter how much I styled them. That's the recognition moment so many women hit, and don't know what to call. The fix is a jaw-skimming bob with graduated layers cut just above the shoulder, angled slightly shorter in the back. Ask for this exact phrase at your next appointment. Graduated bob, angled up in the back, soft layers through the crown, no blunt weight at the ends. That angled back section is the part most stylists skip, and it's the part that actually does the lifting. Here's why it works. Graduated layers remove weight exactly where hair naturally wants to fall flat, at the crown and through the mid-lengths. Instead of gravity pulling everything downward, the shorter interior layers create lift from the root, so the whole shape sits up and away from the face instead of collapsing against it. The angled back section shortens the silhouette just enough to counteract that new growth direction I mentioned. It's not a dramatic cut. It's a strategic one. There's a woman named Marguerite who came into a salon consultation convinced her hair was simply done. Thin, flat, impossible. Her stylist didn't add volume products or extensions. She just cut the graduated bob, angled the back up 2 inches shorter than the front. Marguerite said the moment the blow dryer finished, and she saw the shape sitting up off her shoulders, she actually laughed out loud. Not because it was dramatic, because it was her again. That's the snapback moment stylists see constantly. Not a dramatic before and after in the makeover show sense, but the specific instant a woman stops seeing old hair and starts seeing her own face clearly again. It happens in seconds, and it happens because of lift, not length. Here's the part that surprises people most. The graduated bob doesn't require more styling time. Once it's cut correctly, the shape does the work. A quick blast of warm air with fingers lifting at the roots is often all it needs, because the layers are already built to sit that way. Women who were spending 15 minutes fighting flat hair every morning are down to under 5. And here's the second tension point worth sitting with. Most women wait until their hair feels truly unmanageable before they ask for a change like this. But the earlier you get ahead of that crown flattening pattern, the less dramatic the cut needs to be to fix it. Waiting doesn't protect your length. It just means a bigger correction later. So the before was long hair, flat through the crown, falling with no shape. The after is a graduated bob, angled back, lift built into the cut itself, not the styling. Next, I want to show you the cut that's even more forgiving, because it works with almost zero styling at all, and it's the one stylists say they wish more women asked for by name. Part 2. The pixie nobody warns you about. There's a version of the pixie cut that gets recommended to almost every woman over 70, and it's often the wrong one. The generic short pixie, cropped evenly all over, can actually expose more scalp visibility in exactly the areas where density has thinned the most. That's the part nobody mentions before you're already in the chair with wet hair on the floor. I've heard from so many women who tried a pixie once, hated it, and swore off short hair forever. The problem usually wasn't the length. It was the wrong texture of pixie for their specific hair pattern. The fix is a textured pixie with longer, wispy pieces left at the crown and a soft, disconnected fringe swept to one side. Say this exact phrase in the chair. Textured pixie, leave extra length and texture at the crown, disconnected side fringe, nothing buzzed close at the top. That crown length is doing double duty. It covers thin spots and adds the illusion of volume at the same time. Here's the mechanism. Uniform length pixies rely on density to look full, and after 70, density is exactly what's changed. But textured, longer pieces at the crown catch and layer over one another, creating visual depth even when the strand count underneath has thinned. The disconnected fringe adds movement at the front, drawing the eye across the face instead of down toward the scalp. It's an optical shift, not a styling trick. Diane, a longtime salon client, had avoided short hair for over a decade after one bad pixie experience in her 60s. When her stylist finally talked her into the textured version, with real length kept at the crown, Diane said the difference was immediate. She wasn't seeing scalp in the mirror. She was seeing shape and softness around her face for the first time in years. That snapback moment, seeing fullness instead of scalp, is why this specific pixie variation has become one of the most requested corrective cuts for fine, thinning hair over 70. It photographs better too, because the texture catches light instead of reflecting flat off bare scalp. What surprises most people is how little maintenance this version needs compared to the classic close-cropped pixie. Because the crown length stays longer, you're not fighting regrowth lines every 2 weeks. Most women stretch appointments to 8 or 9 weeks instead of the usual 4 or 5, since the length at the top grows into the style rather than out of it. The real tension here is that so many women rule out short hair entirely based on one wrong cut, years ago, and never revisit it. But the textured crown-length pixie isn't the same category of cut. It's built specifically around thinning patterns that didn't even exist the last time they tried it. So the before was a uniform pixie exposing thin patches at the crown. The after is a textured crown-heavy pixie with a soft fringe, built for coverage and movement instead of uniform shortness. Up next is the third cut, and it's the one that works even if you're not ready to go dramatically shorter at all. Part 3. The shag that solves thinning without going short. Not every woman over 70 wants shorter hair, and there's a cut that proves you don't need it to fix the flat, thin, tired look. It's a modern shag, and the version that works past 70 is different from the choppy, heavy shags from decades ago. That older version actually made fine hair look stringier. The corrective version does the exact opposite. I remember a client, Colette, insisting she'd tried a shag before, and it made her thin hair look worse, not better. She wasn't wrong about her experience, she'd just gotten the wrong shag. The fix is a soft face-framing shag with feathered layers concentrated around the crown and cheekbones, kept to shoulder length or slightly above. Use this exact phrase. Soft shag, feathered layering at the crown and around the face, keep the perimeter length intact, no heavy point cutting throughout. That last part matters most. Heavy point cutting is what makes fine hair look stringy instead of textured. Here's why the placement matters so much. Feathered layers only at the crown and face framing pieces lift exactly where volume has dropped off, while keeping the perimeter length intact preserves enough weight at the ends to prevent that stringy, thin appearance. It's the opposite strategy from all-over point cutting, which removes weight evenly and leaves fine hair with nothing left to hold shape. This shag adds movement only where it's needed. Once the crown layers were cut and the face framing pieces set, Colette described it as the first time in years her hair moved when she turned her head instead of just hanging there. She said her stylist held up a mirror behind her, and for a second she didn't recognize the shape catching the light. That's the real payoff of this cut, movement. Fine hair that's cut correctly doesn't need more volume products. It needs shape that catches air and light as you move, and that's exactly what feathered crown layering creates. Here's something worth sitting with. This shag works especially well if you're someone who blow dries with just your fingers rather than a full styling routine, because the layering does most of the lifting on its own. Rough dry with your head tipped forward for 30 seconds, flip back up, and the crown layers fall into place without a brush. And here's a fear worth naming directly. A lot of women avoid layers altogether after a bad experience, assuming any layered cut will make thin hair look thinner. But it's not layers themselves that cause that. It's where and how much gets removed. Placed correctly, layers are the single most effective tool for fine hair there is. So the before was flat, stringy, shoulder-length hair with no shape. The after is a feathered shag with crown lift and an intact perimeter, built for movement without sacrificing length. And there's one more thing tying all three of these cuts together that I haven't told you yet. Something every good stylist checks before they ever pick up the scissors. Part 4. The one question that decides which cut is actually yours. I almost didn't include this part because it sounds too simple to matter. But it's the single biggest reason women leave a salon disappointed even when the stylist did technically good work. Every cut I've just shown you can be wrong for you specifically, if it's chosen without answering one question first. What shape is your face doing right now, not 10 years ago? Face shape shifts after 70. Softer jawlines, a bit more length in appearance through the lower face, changes in cheekbone prominence. A cut chosen for the face shape you had at 50 can fight the face you have now, no matter how well it's executed. The fix isn't a new haircut at all, it's a stylist consultation phrase that gets skipped constantly. Before we cut, tell me where you want the eye to land on my face. That single sentence forces a real conversation about jawline, cheekbones, and proportion, instead of a stylist defaulting to whatever cut is trending that season. Here's the mechanism behind why this question changes everything. The graduated bob from earlier lifts at the crown, which softens a squarer jaw beautifully, but can overwhelm a narrower face. The textured pixie draws the eye across the face with its fringe. Ideal if you want attention on your eyes, less ideal if your priority is softening a stronger jawline. The feathered shag frames the whole face evenly, which flatters most shapes but works especially well if cheekbones have become the most prominent feature. None of these cuts is universally correct. Each one solves a different proportion problem. Rosalind had gone in requesting the exact pixie Diane had gotten, based purely on a photo. Her stylist paused and asked the eye-landing question first. It turned out Rosalind's priority wasn't her fringe at all. It was softening a jaw that had become more defined with age. They adjusted the plan to a slightly longer, more textured version, weighted more heavily around the jawline than the crown. Rosalind said the moment she saw it finished, she understood why the exact same cut on someone else hadn't looked right on her in the photo. That's the real secret behind all three cuts working as well as they do. It was never really about the bob, the pixie, or the shag as fixed templates. It's about matching the lift, the movement, or the framing to what your specific face is asking for right now. Here's the part that should genuinely change how you book your next appointment. Before you even mention a specific cut by name, describe your face concern first: jawline, cheekbones, softness, whatever it is you notice most. Let the stylist work backward from that concern into the cut, rather than starting with a photo and hoping it translates. And here's the honest tension to sit with. A photo from a magazine or a video like this one is a starting point, never a guarantee. The three cuts I've shown you today are proven corrective shapes. But the one adjustment that makes any of them actually yours is that single sentence about where you want the eye to land. So the before was choosing a cut based on a photo or trend alone. The after is choosing a cut based on your specific face, with the stylist adjusting one of these three proven shapes to fit you exactly. That's everything you need to walk into your next appointment and finally get the cut that's actually right for your face, not just right for the mirror on the wall. You now know something most women never get told directly. Your hair over 70 doesn't need more volume products or a miracle serum. It needs one of three specific corrective shapes, matched honestly to your own face. That's real, usable knowledge, and you can walk into your very next appointment and ask for it by name. So tell me in the comments, which of these three, the graduated bob, the textured pixie, or the feathered shag, sounds like the one your hair has actually been asking for? Next time, I'm breaking down the coloring mistake that ages fine gray hair faster than any cut ever could, and exactly what to ask for instead. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.